Hello, everyone. Blessings, blessed solstice, and blessed new moon in Cancerian vibes of the Divine Mother Moon energy. And yes, so new moon, solar eclipse, and the solstice. Interesting vibrations today. I wanted to make this video actually after realizing some pretty interesting things. Um, as twins, we just pulled the Wheel of Fortune together. As twins, we do this interesting thing, which I just realized, and maybe I've talked about this before, and it's just kind of a very spontaneous video, but this is how they come together. So there's a thing called quantum leaping. I'm sure you know what that is on some level. Not every twin will know it until you're at a certain part of your journey. And yes, many people are able to do this because you can activate it, but also you do this before you even know you're doing it. Meaning, if we look at the universe and we look at our soul evolution, there's a thing called timelines, and then there's a thing called personal evolution. And they do connect. And I've realized this within myself just recently looking at old videos. I'm like, whoa, who is that person? Um, there are energies in certain parts of the world and the universe and within ourselves. And that kind of activate certain parts of our soul, certain parts of our personality, certain parts of all kinds of things, themes, different themes in our life. So what I wanted to say with the twin flame energy and quantum leaping, it's actually a natural thing we do. Our soul continues to rebirth and rebirth and rebirth. We still take things with us from those different timelines, so to say, but it makes sense because the cells evolve, your light body evolves. It also goes through different parts of your mission that activates certain correspondences, either for healing or for expansion or for union, mission, for creativity, for formation of alchemy in the universe, for our gifts to be shared, literally all this kind of stuff. There's different themes. Having a family, they all connect. And this is what I want to talk about. Timelines have a purpose. They have a purpose because the soul is many things. And this is where we can look at quantum leaping and even the twin flame journey and mission and union as a whole thing. It's holistic, kind of like the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, we have the Wheel of Fortune card here. This is a beautiful deck. I love using the borderless Pamela Coleman Smith deck. It's kind of like my go-to deck. Anyways, so it's kind of like we're bringing it all together right now. And we're also activating certain parts where we can jump to things quicker and back and forth, which is the quantum universe, which is part of the union because we want to bring all fractal parts of ourself together where we're expressing that part of our soul. We're expanding those essences, but we're also evolving with the earth and seeing the multiverse where you can see all aspects of what you're doing on all timelines, which is a really interesting place to be at. That's like the deepest part of the rabbit hole that really takes you to the next level, because when you come back from the higher dimensional traveling, so to say, you do kind of go back and forth a lot because that's what we're here to do. We're here to merge the galactic with the physical and the physical with the galactic, and they are already one. It's just states of consciousness, states of being. And sometimes we feel more physical and other times we feel more lucid. So for the soul to evolve and the grand union to take place, these jumping timelines, like mastering your soul, mastering being a physical being, and mastering the soul altogether. It's kind of like a roadmap, but if you have the earth, or you look at it as the Wheel of Fortune, right? You have the earth, you have different portals and different chakras, just like you have them in your body. We have 12 as twin flames, galactic beings. We probably have more than that, but if you look at different perspectives of the soul, different perspectives of the earth, the inside, the outside, the realms, basically. The soul has realms, just like it has auric energies of your chakras, layers, basically, like an onion. And the unraveling happens, and then the deepening happens, and the blooming happens. So, as a twin, on the soul evolution to become whole, to unite fully, you must look at all these different particles and sectors and different faces of yourself, different beings of yourself, because it all comes back to it is all one, connected. So the evolution of that happens on these alchemical levels of states of being. And I realized this happened a few years ago without me realizing it at the time. And then, yeah, we come into looking at all sectors of everything we ever did on this planet, literally. So what I'm trying to say about all that is really the soul particles and fractals, just like they all just blend together and create this wholeness of then it's all just being about being in the moment. And in the moment, that's when union can really happen, when we allow that and we let go to really bloom into something that was consciously created before birth happened on this planet, meaning when you and your twin incarnated. And that's a really deep rabbit hole to go down, because it's not always the prettiest to look at, because it did bring up all kinds of things. So now this energy that after that, you could say that's the shadow part of it, because the shadow and the light merge at one point because they're here to create alchemy. And then we can kind of take those layers away and open stuff up, basically. So it's a dimensional dive, basically, what you do through the versions of yourself, the versions of your twin, the versions of, even what you look like, what your face can change into. You shapeshift many times to go through this. It's huge. It's like you keep being reborn every few years, or now it's not even every few years. So it's instant. And that's what the quantum energy can do. But twin flames do this naturally, and they've been doing this your whole life. Your whole life. So it's interesting to see the perspective of this right now. And what I'm trying to say about this energy is that this is part of union. These waves of different waves and dimensions, and physical and non-physical, like that kind of energy, you probably do feel that sometimes. That is part of the dance. That's part of the dance. In essence, the feminine just becomes energy, and she becomes like a walking universe, literally. So that's what I've realized. So once the shadow aspect and the light kind of do this, and they come back into realization of self, of like, whoa, that was a deep rabbit hole. You come out of that rabbit hole, in a sense, as realizing all parts of soul, all parts of self, all parts of physical, all parts of earth, time, space, dimension. Um, so then you just become the master of your creations. And it's the intention. I mean, I can't really put it into terms because it's more about the experience, but this is what is part of the dance. And this can be the most awkward kind of like what's going on time, but then it serves a purpose. It serves a purpose because then it's like walking walking on the earth again in a new aspect of soul, if that makes any sense. It's a quantum mind thing where basically your focus expands into the universe. You are non-physical for a while and then you are physical. So it's a thing to experience, but at the same time it requires a lot of balance and just opening up those portals. And the feminine is the portal of that cosmic birth, pretty much. So it literally brings the union whole. It brings the union home on a more physical level than it did before. Because before it was more in the etheric, and that's where the longing and all that stuff comes from, is to bring it to earth. And I can I can confirm that it's being brought to earth right now. So heaven on earth is birthing as we speak. If you want to go deeper into that, I am doing sessions on it. It's between the physical and the non-physical. So to explain it in more like 3D terms is not something I can completely put my finger on because it's not 3D. It's etheric 5D and beyond, up to the 12th, to the 11th and 12th dimension, where you can experience the galactic space of walking on the planet. That's something I've experienced without doing anything except meditating, connecting to nature. And that's the quantum field, when you can really feel that vibration and that clarity through your channel. At the same time, it's a very different experience than having your first part of your awakening. It's like the next level of your awakening, which is like, for me, it was 7 years apart. So 7 years, 10 years it started, and then the next level happens. And it's like your being kind of becomes a new being, and that's part of the alchemy of twins, is we become multiple beings that do multiple things and are here to master many levels of things. And we've definitely done this, and now it's just the evolution of earth that is going on right now. So there are miracles happening right now, and yeah, we just have to allow it to happen. So if you like to go deeper into this, because this is literally just the expression of what it could be for each individual on a basic level, because each soul is going to have a different version of this. But the rabbit hole is like going through dimensional portals in the earth and then also in the cosmos. So for me, it was dreaming into a space like 7 years before landing on the space, and then now dreaming of other spaces that I will probably see as well. And then before it was the cosmos landing, and then the heavenly energy coming through, and then it was taking that energy and putting it through the portals of the inner earth. That's what I could explain to describe the feeling of what it feels like going through this. And now it's like coming back to an essence where I can present this to beings that are interested in diving into that. And that literally shifts the planet. So that's a divine quantum alchemy of twins right there. Namaste. I am doing sessions again. Lots of love.